right. Hey, what's up? Can you guys hear me okay? Just gonna throw this on Facebook Live as well. Um, just give me 1 second here. It's a straight up Q&A. Got any questions, just throw them in the comments below. Awesome, cool. Finally got it working on YouTube again this time because I screwed it up last time. All right. Let's see what is up. And all right. Sorry about the techno-done stuff. I'm not very good with technology with basics. Ask me. There we go. Facebook Live is so much easier to use. What do you think of the major difference between American and Canadian credit reporting and the nuances which separate them? Oh, we got credit questions there. Give me 1 second. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's try to get this thing up here. Q and A. All right, let's see if this works. Is it working? Yes, I think it is working. Okay, so your question, what is the major difference between, well, I guess I'll answer the question about the business first because you're asking me about the type of work that I do. You can go to the website, it's totaldebtfreedom.ca. It's basically a company I created 15 years ago, which helps people get out of credit card debt. And the approach we took was to negotiate. So a little bit of background, what I was doing was I took a package in 2003 and I went home from the collection outfit that I was working at, and I was going to do my taxes, and the accountant said to me, hey, look, I'm doing mortgages. Can you take a look at this credit report? There's about $30,000 or $40,000 in credit card debt. I can only get the guy a mortgage for $20,000, $25,000, so way less than what the mortgage was. And he goes, what do I do? And I looked at it, I said, well, you can negotiate it. And he throws it at me. He goes, good, go do it and charge a fee. So I did. So that's basically how the business started up. And I've been doing that for 15 years. We did most of our business in the early years dealing directly with mortgage agents and the consumer. And then we started doing it for people that weren't homeowners. So that's how I got into the debt negotiation business. You're asking a question about the difference between Canadian and American credit reporting. They're pretty much the same. There's not a big difference. I think in Canada, some of the Schedule A banks like Royal Bank use Experian, or they rely on TransUnion rather than Equifax. In the US, it's mostly Equifax, but they're relatively the same. Type of business, debt consolidation. Do you ask for a letter of deflection for your clients? I'm not sure what a letter of deflection is. You want to elaborate on that question for me? Those of you on Facebook Live, what's up? Doing this on YouTube as well, kind of simultaneously rolling this. Can you guys hear me okay? Just give me like a heart or a thumbs up, or just put a little comment down below. It'll appear here. Okay. I appreciate the response. Very cool to interact so directly. That's what I'm here for, brother. How many sources of income do you have? How many sources of income? So I like to work on passive income because you work once and you keep getting paid. So rather than taking a block of time like 1 hour and getting paid for that hour, you're getting paid. Hey, what's up? Thanks, man. You get 1 hour's work that keeps paying you over time. So work 1 hour, but keep getting paid over time, as opposed to working for 1 hour, getting a flat amount of money. You'll never become wealthy if you're exchanging time for money. You want to create passive sources of income. So one of the things that I can talk about is, you said how many sources of income do I have? I have a spreadsheet that I track every month. Let me just go to it on my other screen here, because you cannot manage what you do not measure. So this is why I do this every single month. I just call it my income spreadsheet, and so most of it comes from work with my business. Not most of it. I'm going to say a good portion. Another good portion comes from private investments that I have out, which basically I work one full day a month, and I get paid out over 12 months with posted a check. So that's a nice source of passive income. I've written 2 books on Amazon. You can just look up my name, just Richard Cooper, on Amazon, and you'll see the books that are on there. They don't serve a ton of passive income. It's very small. I got passive income on YouTube, obviously, which is tiny. People think that you make a lot of money on YouTube, but it's peanuts. What else do I have on this list here? And some pooled mortgage investments that I set up a few years ago on some development property. So I've got a number of different sources, but primarily it's been coming from work that I've been doing with my debt negotiation business. You guys can ask questions down there too. I'm just going back and forth between these different questions. Uh, so that the collection gets removed. Sorry, letter of deflection, so the collection gets removed from their history. Not sure what you mean. The credit bureaus in Canada, I'm not sure what the rules are in the US, but in Canada, it drops off after 6 years. But the cool thing is we have a limitation period that's only 2 years. So a creditor can't sue you if the debt's more than 2 years old. They can't successfully sue you if you defend on the basis of the limitation period. What's your education? I don't have much education. I went to high school, did college for a couple of years, did not do any entrepreneurship courses or MBA or anything like that. I'll give you an example. Like I lost $56,000 2 years ago in some private investments, which was the biggest lesson that I ever learned. It was very expensive, but you can't learn that in a classroom. Sitting in a classroom doing an MBA, taking notes, listening to a professor preach is never going to teach you that. So I'm self-taught. I'm a firm believer in not letting school get in the way of your education, just getting out there and doing it and experiencing it. Um, Most successful entrepreneurs have at least 2 or 3 failed businesses under their belt before they knock one out of the park. So yeah, you just got to get out there and do it. Sitting in a classroom is never going to get you there. What type of investments do you think are good? Anything that pays high interest with low risk. The stuff that I do has some risk, but I usually get about a 14 to 16% return on it if I'm working it properly. So you can usually double your money every 4 years. Letter of deletion, yeah, okay. Nothing like teaches you like personal mistakes. Yeah, absolutely. I got some side income. However, I made a mistake in buying a sports car, which I'm trying to sell. Oh, cars. I love cars. Yeah, buy sports cars that go up in value is all I can say. I don't tend to do that because I'm driving a depreciating M5, but yeah, you want to try to stay away from cars that will tank in value. I'm trying to sell. I have money spread in shares. Yeah, make sure you know what you're doing with shares. Shares are a pain in the ass. I've made money and I've lost money on shares. Um, I refuse to work for a job. I should have 30K cash total. Do you think I should be okay? No, 30 grand is peanuts, man. You need a couple $1,000,000 in the bank before you settle down and stop working. You got to hustle. What about laundry business? Don't know what you mean. I buy and sell things. I've made 2K in an hour. Great. Multiply that. Keep doing it. Keep making 2K an hour. Um, would you start a business you dislike just because it pays good? No. Fuck no. Don't ever do that. It's just going to fail. You just can't work a business that you hate. You have to be passionate about it because there's going to be long periods of time where you won't make money. and it's not worth it. You literally have to be passionate about what you're doing. You have to be willing to work for free. For example, YouTube and what I'm doing here right now, I don't get paid for this. This is just something that I enjoy doing because I like telling these stories and sharing these experiences. I put out a video on the YouTube channel. I'm talking to Johnny right now on Facebook. I put a video out on the YouTube channel about a week ago talking about next steps for what I'm doing, and I'm going to offer things to you guys like trips. I sourced a off-road rally driving school that's in Quebec. I might do like destination type trips, stuff to do with cars and entrepreneurship. That's really the stuff that I want to do. I want to do higher level stuff. So they're going to have higher level price points. That's kind of the stuff that I like to get into, but I'm always going to be putting out content on this channel. I do enjoy it. I like interacting, and I like sharing these life experiences. It's kind of my way to give back. Some people like to donate blood. Some people like to, do all kinds of things. This is kind of my way of giving back. Um, Going back to YouTube here, it says, like the laundromat business doesn't have a lot of risk. A lot of people can't have a washer in their homes. Yeah, sure. Laundromat business, I don't have any experience in it. One of the businesses that I was looking at doing a few years ago was the coin car wash business because one, it's a cash business, so you've got a lot of flexibility in your bookkeeping, and two, there's not a lot of maintenance aside from making sure the water pressure's there and you've got soap and dispensers and everything's working. So yeah, that's a great source of passive income as well. Keep posting your questions in the comments below and on the Facebook Live chat, and I'll try to get through them as they come up. What's up, Dave, Anthony, and Johnny? Isn't the laundromat business quite saturated in New York City? I don't know, dude. I live in the Toronto area. I would imagine if you've got too many in the neighborhood, and well, I mean, the way to know for sure is just sit there and watch the traffic that goes in and out of the laundromat business for an hour. Honestly, if the place is rammed full, then there's room in the community for another one. If it's crickets, it's probably not a good idea to go there. There we go. Okay. Um, yeah. So what else is going on with you guys? Do you have any more questions for me tonight? So what is it about the BTC and Ethereum and all those other up and coming currencies? Ethereum is interesting. One of my close friends, Dimitri, his son created Ethereum, Toronto-based entrepreneur. The blockchain is very interesting. I would definitely pay attention to it. I don't know enough about it to do anything in that space, but it is going to be the future of the Web 2.0 for sure. As far as a currency goes, I don't like it as a currency like Bitcoin. I don't think banks will ever adopt it or it'll become mainstream simply because they can't control it. If you can't control it, you can't print it, banks and government will probably stay away from it. But the blockchain itself, banks are starting to adopt it. I was talking to a bank lawyer a couple of months ago, and they're well versed on what the blockchain is and what it's going to be doing for the internet going forward, and they're definitely adopting it. So if you're looking at a law degree, if you want to become a lawyer, for example, you want to stay away from contract law because jobs like that are going to be fewer and farther between because of the blockchain. I'm trying to open a motorbike car sales, a lawn motor, and car vans and jet skis all in one place. Is that a bad idea? Sounds like a whole lot of shit, man. I would focus on the one thing that people want in your area. You're talking about motorized vehicles, right? Motorbike, lawn motor, caravans, and jet skis. So you need water, dirt, roads, and grass to cut. I would focus on one thing, make sure that's sticky enough, and then build out the other businesses from there. But focus on the one thing and get that to start throwing off money and generating revenue for you. Bitcoin, yeah, to have connections, and yes, there's tons of applications for blockchain. I'm still getting in on blockchain. I'm still trying to understand it. Isn't PayPal the same thing? No. PayPal is probably going to go the way of the dodo because of blockchain, unless they adapt to it. Not all even close. Braintree, yeah. Car question. After your M5, are you going to consider an exotic like a Lambo, Ferrari, Aston R8? If I'm going to spend 100 grand on a car plus, it's got to appreciate in value. So I made a video a month or two back on cars I thought were going to go up in value. So yeah, I have no problem. Like if you're talking a Ferrari, you want an F430 with a gated 6-speed manual. Aston DBS would be nice if you could get one with a 6-speed manual. Love the Murcielago just because if you're going to get a Lamborghini, you got to get one with doors that go up. R8's nice as well, but there's not a lot of cars like that in Canada. Our population's 10 times smaller than what it is in the US, and when the dollar is higher in Canada or close to par as the American, that's when it's worthwhile buying cars in the US and bringing them into Canada. But right now, my options for buying an exotic are somewhat limited. But yeah, the Auto Trader is a hobby of mine. I like sifting through there and looking for something. I did miss out on a wicked deal about a year ago. There was a F430 Scuderia, and it was going for 175,000, and they're all going for 350 now. So I'm kicking myself in the ass because of that. But yeah, you can make money on exotic cars. You just have to buy the right one. If you're going to throw 100 grand plus into a car, make sure it goes up in value for sure. C63 Black. Yeah, not a fan of that. I don't really like the look of it. I know that Clarkson did a review on Top Gear when it came out, but it's just not for me. The sharing economy. Sharing economy, yeah, if you can connect two parties together, it definitely works. You got Airbnb, Uber, all kinds of models like that where it connects a couple of people. How does income taxation work in Canada? Got this question on Facebook. Well, David, you bend over and the government jams you, basically, is the way it works here. You know, Canada is known for its amazing healthcare system and you know all these social benefits, which the world tends to look at us and in admiration, but that money has to come from somewhere. So to give you an example, I had a friend in Texas that was basically an affiliate partner of ours, and yeah, Legendary Motor Car is awesome. And he was basically doing the same business that we were, but in Texas, he has a different tax rate. Housing is way cheaper down there. Like he had a house twice as big as mine for half the price. Had a Lamborghini, a wakeboarding boat, a Range Rover to tow it, and he was in the same business as I am. So the taxation model in Canada is different from the US. Yes, you can go to a hospital and get taken care of and not get a bill most of the time, but you'll be waiting maybe 5 or 6 hours for service. So taxation here as a business owner, it's not the greatest. You can still do well as an entrepreneur, but you've got to diversify and you've got to be clever about the way you run business and the kind of businesses that you get in. So just like anything else, it's just something you got to be smart about. But I think you can probably do better off in the United States as far as an entrepreneur goes. Just going to go back up here to YouTube. Man, let's see, you're an awesome guy. Keep up the good work. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. From down under, Australia. Thanks. What do you guys think of Ferraris, Lambos compared to AMGs and M's? I don't know. What do you think of them? I like fast cars. You know, what can I say? Love Ferraris, love Lambos. Not a fan of AMGs as much as I am M cars, but AMGs are pretty dope too. You know, there's some fast ones out there. Me, myself, I tend to stick to BMWs. I just like BMW M cars. Hey, sorry for posting in caps. Why are you yelling, man? Please put this live stream on your channel after it's over. Thanks. All right, I'll see if I can figure it out. I'm not sure how that works. I'm gonna come back down here. Ever check out Legendary Motor Car Museum in Milton? Lots of great stuff. Yeah, man, I've been there. It's awesome. Got to head out to the gym. Would love to hear the rest of your opinions. Yeah, I'll try to make it available. BMW is always mass produced, so there will be compromises. Can't really compare stockish BMWs to a McLaren. Yeah, you can't, but I'll be honest with you, the M5 that I'm driving now, it's as fast, probably faster on the highway than a 650S. If I were to mat it and I had a fresh set of tires on it, I think it would probably embarrass it. It's literally a four-door exotic car. It's nuts. I got to do some more videos and show you guys what it can do because even in fourth gear when I mat it, the traction control interferes and stops me from killing myself. It's the only car I've ever owned that can literally kill me. Gorgeous, amazing handled cars. Love them. Yes, they are. Yeah, keep throwing your questions, guys. Keep going. Keep going. I'm gonna try to do as many of these as I can in the next hour while I got you guys on. Bro, come on, I love BMW. Yeah, it's a heavy car. It's a heavy car, and M5 is a heavy car, but I'm not a track guy. Like, if I was driving the car on a racetrack or doing track days, I wouldn't have an M5. You'll go through brake pads, you'll go through rotors and tires unbelievably quick on an M5 on a track, which is why it's more of a highway cruiser. And thank God it came into my life at this time because now I have to spend more time in the office, and it's about an hour commute each way from where I live to my office in Whitby. But yeah, the M5 is a perfect highway cruiser. It eats up the miles nicely. Yeah, it's definitely designed for eating up miles and comfort. Love BMWs, but I really want to get WRX is dope. I had an '02 WRX in the World Rally Blue. I tuned it. I remember we put it on the all-wheel drive dyno, and it would put down 170 horsepower. And when it was done with the tune, it put down 230. That was a fast car. It was a lot of fun. I did take the M5 to the drag strip. Go watch the videos, bro. Bruce. Yeah, go watch the videos. What are your thoughts on the Viper ACR lap times? I love the ACR. I'd love to get one. They're going for about $200,000 here, Canadian. So, maybe they'll come down in price, but I can't justify spending 200 grand on a Dodge, even though it is the last of its kind and will probably be a collector's, be more valuable at some point in the future. Please consider a catch can for it. It eats down oil and burns it. So a catch can help with carbon buildup and CC effects, direct injection cars. Never looked at a catch can. I saw the catch can on the R33 GTR that I drove a few weeks ago and put the video out on, but I've never heard of it being necessary for the M5. The M5 doesn't burn a lot of oil. I've put 5,000 kilometers on it and put half a liter of oil in it. So haven't noticed much of it burning. How many miles? I don't know miles. It's got 74,000 kilometers on it roughly. I got it with 69,000 kilometers. Let's check these questions here. Sorry, guys. Oh yeah, I don't follow the BMW recommended oil change intervals. It's retarded. The oil gets changed every 6 months or usually 5,000 kilometers. That's a question I can get into. The new M5 engine compared to the V10. The V10 howls. I love the sound of it, but the twin turbo V8, I don't know what the engine code is, but the 4.4 V8 twin turbo, it's awesome. It's just you can't compare the two engines. The V10 is a Formula One sounding motor, and the twin turbo V8 is just it's a beast. It's awesome. Go for a drive in one if you haven't. If you're close to Toronto, just ping me and I'll take you out for a rip. What are your views on the Skyline R34? I like the look of it, but I don't think that I'd have one in my garage if I'm being honest. It's too like JDM for me. I like more of the German muscle cars, like the German Speed or the Italian exotics. Save dealers money and kill engines at the same time. So yeah, I totally agree. I think that they know that the engines won't last if the oil isn't changed on a regular basis. What engine is used for your video intros? I don't know, honestly. I got that done on a Fiverr, and somebody was asking down here on Facebook about the engine sound on the Entrepreneurs of Cars intro. I got it done in a Fiverr gig for $5, so it's just kind of the intro and they customize the name, but I have no idea what the engine is. It does sound like a meaty V8 though, so that's why I kind of went with it. S63B44TU, yeah, that's the awesome code. What's your opinion of the new Minis made by BMW and their price point? I like Minis. I drove a Mini GP, loved it. I'd have one. I just don't have the garage space for it. But the newer ones I haven't driven yet. The GP that I drove, I think, was a 2012 or 2013. There was a guy at the track that had one, all done. It was nice, quick car. I like them. Yeah, burns oil means the break-in wasn't done right. So congrats, you got a good one. Yeah, thanks. It drives nicely. What are your thoughts on the new M2 compared to the 1M? Um, I like it. Honestly, I like it. I haven't driven one yet. It's a bit of a parts bin car, so I'm not huge on that sort of component of it, but they stick it together well, and all the reviews have been great. I need to drive one still to really see what it's like, but I do like the 1M as well. Yeah, they don't have the real S engines, but the motors are still solid. I mean, you treat them right and they'll last. Where are you guys all from, by the way? Just put in the comments below where you're watching this from. I'm just curious. Yeah, the driver's seat's crooked, you said. No MDM mode. I don't know that the driver's seat is that crooked. I know they made a big deal out of it in, I don't know, it was Carlos or somebody uh, on a YouTube video that said that the driver's seat on the M2 is crooked, but I emailed Matt Farah because I saw he put a video out on the smoking tire when he had the M2 around the track, and he said he didn't notice that it was crooked. So I'd have to see it for myself. I haven't had a chance to drive one yet. I've contacted the dealer and I haven't been able to get my hands on one yet because they're all pre-sold. Bugatti Chiron, no idea. Haven't heard much on the specs. I'm sure it's going to be a beast though. I was never really a big fan of the Veyron. I didn't really like the look of it, but there's no question it's a fast car. Do you think cars are bad investments? What's up, Chicago, Cleveland, North Bay? North Bay, what's up, dude? That's a bit of a drive. Uh, California. No, cars aren't always a bad investment. There are cars that go up in value. If you can get your hands on them and you hold on to them, they will go up in value. Now, the thing being is they won't go up in value as much as an investment. Like I said earlier, I can make about 15% annual return on my money with these investments that I do. But with a car, you're never going to make 15% in a year because you've also got to deduct your insurance and your maintenance costs of the car. But there are some cars that will accelerate in value, like the Ford GT, for example. Was it 2003, 2004? You could have bought those for 100, 120 grand when the dealers were discounting them and desperate to get rid of them. I was on the trader the other day looking, you can't find one for less than $400,000 Canadian now. So over 10, 13-year period, you would have made a good return on your money if you held it. NSX and the LaFerrari, greatest investment ever. LaFerrari, yeah. McLaren P1, yeah. 918, yeah. There's a reason why people hold on to those cars. NSX, it's all right. I mean, they're not going to depreciate. People are always going to want them, but they're never going to be worth $500,000, or if they are, it's going to be a long time in the future. Older ones that go up. Do you think real estate offers the highest ROI? Well, right now it's working pretty well, especially in the Greater Toronto area if you're into real estate. S2K, yeah, S2K is kind of a cool car, but it's way too small for me. I drove one. It's the tiniest thing. I'm like 6'3", and it's not comfortable at all. Yeah, Carrera GTs for sure. 1Ms. I don't know why 1Ms are still holding on to their values. It kind of pisses me off because I don't think they're worth 70 grand. For 70 grand, well, for 55,000, you can buy a competition package M3, a 2012, 2013 competition package M3, which in my opinion is a way better car. Keep throwing those questions at me, guys. I'm probably going to do this for another 15 minutes or so. How do you find out what cars go up, down in value? Well, the only cars that will go up in value are desirable cars that are low production, limited edition. Um, or they are just fewer and farther in between. Like the E30 M3, the original one, they made a lot of those, but there's not a lot still on the road, and they're desirable now because they're kind of like an original showpiece or like a masterpiece, right? Um, on the flip side of things, things like these desirable Porsches, like the 911 GT cars, because last of its kind, for example, the manual ones, low production, high desirability. The Viper ACR, I mean, fuck, it's a Dodge. It's a $200,000 Dodge ACR. The reason why it's holding on to value and will probably go up in the future is just because it's the last of its kind. So anything that's last of its kind, low production, high desirability, will go up in value. If they made thousands of them, like the Lamborghini Gallardo, they made something like 6,000 of those. Those will never be worth $20,000 or $30,000. They're still going to hold on to a decent value, but they're never going to be worth $500,000 unless it's one of the lower production like Superleggera or Performantes or something like that. Those ones might go up a little bit in value versus the other ones. So it's pretty much how it works. Loving your thoughts on Bimmers. What's up, Chicago? In the market for a WRX, love the 2012, 2014 hatchback. Yeah, me too. I was actually considering one of those. However, I can get a brand new one for the same price, and I don't like the styling as much. However, it's the same fucking car. Since 2004 to today, it's really the same motor. They did some updates, cosmetic updates and design updates, but it's realistically the same car since 2004 when it comes to the STI. Uh, yeah, salt roads do kill our cars. Yeah, if you can get one of those STI wagons, they do hold on pretty good, actually. E92 M3 will make a spike soon. Not sure why the only V8 M3 isn't going up. It will. It's probably going to depreciate for another year or two, and then it'll start holding on to its value. And if you can get a nice, clean example of a E92 M3 with a compact that's well optioned, no accidents, it'll look something like an E30 M3 in 10 to 15 years time because it's the last naturally aspirated motor. Manual or DCT? DCT all day long. Much better transmission. You just can't compare a manual transmission to a double clutch transmission anymore. Back in the day when you had a SMG, the single clutch manuals, the manual was far better, but now the DTC crushes it. B7 in between M5, B7. Yeah, B7's kind of cool. I like it. I've never driven one, but I do like it. I believe the M3 DCT is the same transmission as the M5 DCT with slightly different programming. I know the F10 M5's got an updated version, but I'm pretty sure they're nearly identical because I know the M3 DCT can take a shitload of torque. I believe BMW designed the DCT to work with the M3, the M4, the M5, and the M6. So the limiting factor is not the transmission, it's more the engine and the drive shaft. But very, very quick shifting. The only thing I don't like about the M5 is the settings for the transmission speed. There's only 3 settings now, whereas before I think there were something like 6. So they kind of made it simpler. It's almost like they think the drivers are older and a little slower or a little more retarded. So they give you simpler settings there, but very, very similar shift, feel, power, speed, everything. Very, very smooth too. What are we looking at here? E46 325, and I love its drive. How do you think I can get some torque earlier? Not that race. Just buy a turbo car, dude. Don't even waste your time doing anything with it because naturally aspirated motors that are higher revving, you're not going to get a lot of torque at it. So save your money, or get a diesel. Just get the 335 diesel. Yeah, the diesel Alpina's got to be awesome because the 335 diesel was nice. Like I liked it. It's just I wasn't doing a lot of driving at the time. Love the shift sound, the boosted V8. Yeah, it sounds amazing. It does kind of like a farting sound, when you're behind the car, you can hear like this like farting sound, when it shifts the gears. What are your thoughts on a new Huracan being much money? Yeah, Huracan versus Audi R8 V10. I'd take the Audi R8 V10 for sure. I think it's a nicer looking car. Some people have criticized the Huracan for being like kind of cheap on the inside and plasticky, plastic bits and pieces on the car. It's a nice looking car, but ideally though, if you're going to have a Lamborghini, you want doors that go up. I think if you're getting like the regular doors that swing out, you're chinching yourself because Lamborghini, like their nicest cars, always have the scissor doors. Basically, Ethernet cable, which yeah, 335D, especially with the M palette. Yeah, yep. Definitely, the 335D is a nice car. All right, I'm gonna sign off in about 10 minutes or so. So throw your last few questions for me, and we'll catch up with you guys next time. I'll try to do one of these with you every couple of weeks. Um, yeah, the M5 makes amazing sounds. I'm gonna have to stick the GoPro on the back bumper and capture some of the shift sounds and the downshifts and the muffler pops and all that. It sounds amazing. McLaren 12C is sick, has doors that go up. That's a lot like, that's what I like about McLarens. Yeah. Funny thing about the McLarens here is a lot of guys have suggested that they've depreciated a lot in the United States, and you can buy them at a bargain now, like around 100 grand. Here they're still going for 200,000. So they haven't really depreciated at the same rate that they have in the US for some reason. But I don't really like the front end of the 12C if I'm being honest. I don't think the headlights look that great. It doesn't look like an exotic car to me. It does have the dihedral doors, which is nice. In your opinion, is it corny to promote the business, your daily driver fun car? I'm not sure what you mean by that. In your opinion, is it corny to promote your business, your daily driver fun car? Just elaborate on the question. I'll see if I can get to you. What would be a good ECU tune? Dynan has I think it's a boost tuner you can get for like 300 bucks. Look into that. And their tuning's very safe and reliable. You're definitely not going to blow a motor with a Dynan tune. What is your winter car? My M5. I'm going to detune it to 560 horsepower and put snow tires on it. So stay tuned. I'll let you know how that goes this winter. On the down low, get high flow or no cats. You will get much better sound. Yeah, downpipes make such a difference. Oh, as in a wrap. Okay, so I've wrapped a car for my business before. There's a video on my channel on that somewhere from about a year and a half ago. I think the title is something about, tips on wrapping a car, so you can go check that out. I put all my thoughts in there. Eurocharge does great. Yeah, I don't have any experience with Eurocharge, so I can't speak from that point. How much attention does the M5 get? Less than the M3, way less than the M3. It's way more subdued. People don't even notice it. The interior is much nicer though, so when people get in the car, they definitely notice the interior. What do I think of Alpina BMWs? I like them. I drove a 3 Series Alpina, loved it. I thought it was dope. What is it with you guys with painted reflectors, man? I don't care. I don't care. People like to paint the reflectors or get the painted reflectors or, the blacked out, um, the side gills or the hood or the kidney gills. I don't give a shit because I'm driving the car. Doesn't matter to me. All right, I got time for a couple more questions, so just throw them in there, and I'll get you all wrapped up. My brother's from another mother. Do you guys have any special requests for videos that I can do for you? Any topics you want to see me do? I like to try to bang them out while I'm driving to and from the office. So if you got like video topics, that I can put some thought into and kind of, give you some good information, let me know. Do you know if the 2007 5 Series is reliable? Don't have one, can't speak from experience, never owned one. Um, can't really say. What are your thoughts on the E92 328 compared to an E92 335? I've heard a lot of people having problems with the 335. Lots of things go wrong with them. The turbos, the high pressure fuel pumps. Um, it was basically the first direct injected motor that BMW made um, for mass production. So it's, I would I would consider maybe like a newer one if you're going to do that. The 328 motor solid. If you get the inline six, the 3 liter, it doesn't make a lot of power. It's only 230 horse, but it's super smooth and very reliable. No, that's N63 has issues. Get a 535. Follow your passion or follow the money. Follow your passion and the money will come. N54 is bulletproof, but everything bolted to it is garbage. That's what I've heard, yeah. 0 to 300 speed run. I don't know, man. You have a long enough runway I can do that on? Somebody just made a request for me to. I would love to do a 0 to 3. I think the car will do close to 350 kilometers an hour, if I'm being honest with you. I think it'll do 200 miles an hour. So if anybody's got a runway close to the Greater Toronto area that I can rip down, I'd love to go for a speed run and see what I can do with it. I think the limiter is removed because it's got the Dynan tune. I'd have to check the website, but I'm pretty sure it's removed. Also, do you think BMW is one of the better companies, or would you consider an Audi or a Mercedes to be better? I've owned an Audi. I've never owned a Mercedes. Um, my preference is BMW for just drive feel and reliability. My Audi had problems, and it's not well balanced. They stuck the engine ahead of the axle. I had an S4, the V8 S4, and I just didn't like the nose-heavy handling characteristics of it. So for me personally, BMW M cars all day long. So could the 3 Series be recommended as the most reliable BMW? I'd say the 3 Series is pretty solid. It's a mass-produced, reliable car. There's nothing wrong with it. Mercedes-Benz has electrical issues. I've never heard of that before. Yeah, like anytime you abuse a car, like especially if you bolt on stuff and like the S50 or the S65 in that last M3, my last car, they only have problems with the rod bearings when people start bolting superchargers on it and they start fucking around with the software and stuff like that. If you don't do that, the engine's pretty bulletproof. There's people that have driven them up well over 200,000 miles. If you get a pre-purchase inspection and compression test. Do you watch Formula One? Not anymore. I don't even have cable. I don't watch TV. I like to play sports. I don't like to watch them. So the other thing that you got to remember about the M motors, somebody just posted that the Abuse is not giving enough gas. Even though I think the M3 motor was recommended for 91 octane, I always ran 94 on it because I found that there would be some engine knocking between 2 and 3,000 RPM on load going up a incline, like going up a hill. And as soon as you threw in 94 octane, it cleared it right up. So, because it's a high compression, high rev engine, you definitely want to run a higher test fuel in it for sure. All right, I'll take one more question and then I'm going to bounce. And I'm going to try to save this and publish it to the channel. I'm not sure if it's going to go. I'll do my best. What are your thoughts on a Nissan GTR? Okay, so last question, then we'll use that one. I was in a GTR at Mossport for several laps. It's very fast, handles well, heavy car. Um, don't really like the interior. It's a cool car. I just don't really want to drive a Nissan GTR. I kind of poke fun at my brother because he's got a Infiniti, and he makes fun of me because I drive a BMW, and I call it a Datsun. So sometimes you'll see me comment in videos about the Datsun this and that. When really, I mean, like an Infiniti is a nice car, and so is a Nissan GTR. I've got nothing but respect for any manufacturer that makes amazing fast cars that are reliable. It's just not for me. I just don't like the size of it. I'm not cosmetically attracted to the way that the lines on the car look. I'm more of a German car kind of guy. Yeah, it is a Datsun. Old Top Gear and new. Old for sure. All right, boys. It was good chatting with you. I'm going to try to do one of these every couple weeks. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and keep an eye open for the event scheduling. I'll run them simultaneously on YouTube and the Facebook Live just to make sure we catch you all at the same time, whatever's easier for you to use. And that is it. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Let's see if I can save this shit now for you. And let's go here. Stop this.